How do you deal with disrespect? It's a question we all face at some point in our lives. Disrespect in all its forms can leave us feeling upset, frustrated, and powerless. But what if I told you there's a powerful, time-tested approach to handling disrespect? A way that doesn't just help you cope, but allows you to respond with wisdom and grace, regardless of the situation. The secret lies in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 practical Stoic principles that will transform the way you deal with disrespect. And guess what? These aren't just abstract ideas. They're actionable steps that you can apply right away. If you're ready to build a stronger, more resilient mindset, stay with me till the end of the video. Let's dive in. 1. Keep your calm. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the idea that we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by how we think about what happens to us. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." This means that disrespect is not inherently harmful. It's not the disrespect itself that causes us pain, but our interpretation of it. When someone disrespects you, remember, their behavior reflects their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not your value or worth. When you internalize this, you gain a sense of peace. You can remain calm, no longer letting someone else's actions dictate how you feel. This is a powerful way to protect your emotional state. 2. Reflect on yourself. Another core aspect of Stoicism is self-reflection. The Stoics believe that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So when you face disrespect, ask yourself questions like, is there any truth in what this person said or did? Did I do or say anything that provoked this situation? How can I respond in a way that reflects my values? Reflecting on the situation from an objective standpoint helps you understand both the event and your role in it. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can make a measured response, rooted in rational judgment. It's a chance for growth. By practicing self-reflection, you can approach disrespect with wisdom, not just emotion. This habit of self-examination nurtures your personal growth and helps you respond with maturity. 3. Learn to pause. Seneca, another key Stoic figure, wisely said, "Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit." Stoicism teaches that impulsive reactions, especially anger, often lead to poor decisions. When faced with disrespect, it's easy to want to lash out immediately. But the Stoic approach encourages a pause. When someone disrespects you, take a moment. Pause. This gives you the opportunity to collect your thoughts, regain control over your emotions, and respond thoughtfully. Rather than acting out of anger, you'll respond with wisdom and composure. It's a simple yet powerful tool that can transform your interactions and lead to better outcomes, even in difficult situations. Pausing gives you a moment of clarity, preventing you from getting caught in a cycle of emotional reactions. Or, have empathy. Epictetus and other Stoic philosophers emphasize the interconnectedness of humanity. When someone disrespects you, Stoicism suggests practicing empathy. Try to put yourself in their shoes. What might they be feeling? Understanding their perspective helps you see that the disrespect may not be personal or intentional. It could be rooted in their own insecurities, fears, or ignorance. Empathy shifts your perspective, allowing you to respond with compassion instead of anger. It helps you see the person as a whole, not just their actions in that moment. By empathizing with someone who disrespects you, you take away the personal sting and instead find a way to maintain your dignity. Responding with kindness and respect rather than defensiveness allows you to avoid escalating the situation. So far, we've looked at how Stoicism can help you stay calm reflect on yourself, and practice empathy in the face of disrespect. These principles are more than just philosophical ideas. They're practical tools for living with grace and dignity in any situation. Let's now move on to the next principle, concentrating on virtue. How can focusing on virtue help you handle disrespect and build a stronger sense of self? Stick with me as we dive deeper into this key Stoic lesson. Building on the earlier principles of how to respond to disrespect, let's dive deeper into a few more Stoic practices that can help you not only handle challenging moments, but also grow from them. 5. Concentrate on virtue. One of the most important teachings of Stoicism is the development of virtues such as wisdom, courage, and self-control. These virtues serve as the foundation for leading a life aligned with reason and integrity. Seneca, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, stated, "Virtue is nothing else than right reason." In other words, virtue is about being rational and consistent with the natural order of life. When disrespect comes your way, Stoicism encourages you to focus on virtue in your response. This doesn't mean ignoring or tolerating disrespect. It means responding in a manner that reflects your core values. By focusing on virtue, you remove yourself from the sway of fleeting emotions like anger or shame. Instead, you maintain your dignity and integrity, ensuring that you grow from the situation rather than letting it break you down. Stoicism teaches us to act with courage, even in the face of disrespect, and to become the best versions of ourselves, even in the most difficult circumstances. 6. Embrace acceptance. A central Stoic lesson is to accept what we cannot control. Epictetus famously said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This wisdom reminds us to focus on what we have rather than what we lack. Stoicism divides life into two categories: what is within our control and what is not. We can control our thoughts, feelings, and actions, but we cannot control external events or the behavior of others. When confronted with disrespect, instead of letting it affect your inner peace, Stoicism teaches you to accept it as part of life. By doing so, you can avoid unnecessary frustration, anger, or resentment. Instead of reacting impulsively, you are empowered to reflect on the experience, learn from it, and continue improving. This attitude transforms how you handle disrespect. It allows you to respond with calmness and rationality, strengthening your inner resilience. 7. Use humor. Sometimes the best way to cope with disrespect is with a little laughter. Seneca once said, "You have mastered yourself when you know how to deal with what you should not take seriously." While Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and act rationally, it also recognizes the power of humor in easing difficult situations. Humor can help restore emotional balance and prevent you from becoming overly angry or frustrated when faced with disrespect. Instead of reacting defensively or angrily, try using humor to diffuse a situation. A witty remark or a playful joke can shift the tone and allow you to maintain your composure. Of course, humor should be used appropriately and not as a means to belittle others or dismiss their feelings. But when applied properly, humor becomes a tool for navigating disrespect in a way that fosters peace and connection. 8. Set clear boundaries. Stoicism isn't about being a doormat. It's about being a rock that stands firm against disrespect, injustice, and adversity. Stoicism teaches us to know our worth and demand respect. It reminds us that we can control and let go of what we cannot. When someone disrespects you, it's important to stand your ground. Not by lashing out in anger, but by calmly asserting yourself. Setting clear, respectful boundaries is essential in maintaining your dignity and self-respect. You don't have to accept mistreatment, but you can address it assertively and explain how you expect to be treated. This is a Stoic practice, to remain just, strong, and courageous, no matter the circumstances. 9. Choose forgiveness. When faced with disrespect, how do you respond? Do you react in anger, or do you choose to let it go? Forgiveness is a powerful tool taught by Stoicism. Stoics believe that forgiveness is not a favor to the other person, but a gift to yourself. It's key to maintaining inner peace and happiness. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget or approve of what happened. Instead, it means choosing to release the grip that the negative emotions hold on you. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger, frustration, or resentment. By forgiving, you let go of the emotional weight and make room for growth and personal healing. These Stoic practices are a powerful way to handle disrespect in a rational, measured way. As you begin to apply these principles, you'll notice a shift in your mindset and behavior. In the next section, we'll explore more Stoic tools that can help you not only deal with disrespect, but also navigate all of life's challenges with grace. Stay tuned as we continue to break down these timeless principles. Building on the Stoic principles we've already discussed, let's dive into the next few habits that can help us cope with disrespect and lead a more fulfilled life. 10th, release negative emotions. Forgiveness is an essential part of the Stoic philosophy, and it's often misunderstood. Many people think that forgiveness is a sign of weakness or submission, but the Stoics saw it quite differently. To forgive, they say, is not about letting others off the hook. It's about releasing the negative emotions that only harm you. As Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus both taught, we should forgive all but not indiscriminately. We should forgive wisely with compassion and justice. This practice allows us to free ourselves from anger and resentment, which, if left unchecked, can weigh us down and rob us of our inner peace. By choosing to forgive, we free ourselves from the burden of those emotions that hurt us far more than the person who disrespected us. Forgiveness, according to Stoicism, is not a sign of surrender, but an act of strength. It's not about making sacrifices for others. It's about doing something that benefits our own well-being and growth. Forgiveness allows us to move on with a sense of tranquility, which is the ultimate form of self-care and personal growth. Change your perspective. The Stoics placed immense importance on perspective. In fact, they believed that one of the most valuable skills we could develop was the ability to see things from a broader, more objective point of view. Perspective helps us avoid overreacting, prevents us from taking things personally, and allows us to see that many instances of disrespect are simply not as significant as we might initially think. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, our life is what our thoughts make it. When we use perspective, we can understand that most cases of disrespect are temporary and minor. They don't affect our true worth or happiness. Disrespect often stems from the other person's insecurities, ignorance, or weaknesses, rather than being a reflection of our own character. By shifting our perspective, we can choose to forgive, ignore, or learn from the disrespect instead of letting it consume us with negative emotions. Perspective also helps us focus on what really matters, our values, goals, and virtues. It encourages us to use our time and energy to pursue what is meaningful rather than wasting it on feelings of resentment or the need for revenge. Imagine how much more fulfilling and peaceful life would be if we chose to invest our emotions in what truly aligns with our inner principles. Next time you face disrespect, try shifting your perspective. Ask yourself, is this truly worth my time and energy? Doing so will help you maintain your composure, act wisely, and stay focused on what really matters. By embracing these principles, you can cultivate a calm and resilient mind when faced with adversity. Stoicism teaches us not to suppress our emotions, but rather to manage them with wisdom and clarity. Applying these 10 Stoic principles will help you stay strong and composed in the face of disrespect and rude behavior, leading to a life of peace and virtue. If you found these insights helpful, please leave a thumbs up to help others discover this ancient wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more lessons about Stoic philosophy. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.